And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and today I have Sean here with me. Sean?
What's up, what's up, what's up? I'm gonna say it the Krisha way.
Okay, and guys, this video we are going to be dissecting VeChain. Yes, VeChain, been on everyone's radar, and rightfully so. It's been a bloody bullish chart, right, Sean?
Yes, bullish, but it's prudent to be cautious on this one. We're sitting against major resistance. It is decision point, though. If you break this one, I think this one's going to fly. Indeed.
But now let's get into, well, the Mango dashboard. Okay, we're going to start off with that first. And for those of you wondering, we will be dissecting both charts, okay? VeChain BTC as well as VeChain USDT. Now, first, let's go on to the Mango dashboard. Let's go ahead and filter VeChain. Now, what do you know? VeChain USDT did flip long, Sean, 18 days ago. Since then, you are up 92%. Okay, wow. And VeChain BTC also flipped long 20 days ago. Okay, since then you are up 103%. Now, I don't believe that this trend has changed much, even if you sort of pan on over to those lower time frames. The daily is still long. The 12 hours should also still be long. Yes, it is. And the 4 hour is actually in a neutral, let's say, trend. So that is interesting on the 4 hour time frame, but I do believe that if VeChain rips from here, and I do believe it's consolidating in a range, I think this could change. What are your thoughts, Sean?
Well, it does make sense that the 4 hours calling neutral. I think rightfully so, to be honest, because if you do look at the VeChain chart on the lower time frames, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, it's going to show you consolidation, albeit against a major resistance, which is typically bullish, but it is a consolidation on the lower time frame, right? The 2-day showing, well, it's not much to be said over there. We've pumped a good 100% already. And yeah. So now with that, let's actually get onto the chart. Okay, now we're going to start off with that USDT chart because we want to see that, well, VeChain is still trending against USD. We want to see the strength on this chart to really determine whether VeChain BTC is going to rip up further, right? Because what we do know, the information that we do have in front of us is that Bitcoin is, well, moving sideways. Indeed. Right? So for VeChain to really rip up on that BTC, it's this chart right here, VeChain USDT, that needs to start showing more strength. Now, let's first start off with those high-level horizontals. Sean, I'm currently on my weekly time frame, just so that you can follow. Okay.
Now we do.
Sorry, go on. I do think that with VeChain, at least for the Bitcoin pairing, which is what I started off with, the monthly time frame should not be ignored. If you do turn on to the monthly first and then move on to the weekly.
Are you looking at VeChain USDT or VeChain BTC?
VeChain Tether US, 1 month on the Binance pairing.
Oh, hello there, double bottoms. Oh, hello.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, no, this is key, guys. This is key. I think I had gone over this in one of my initial sort of videos for VeChain. Right, I'd gone over this pattern here, but initially, Sean, I was actually looking at it as an Adam and Eve. Now, this one was found on September 2019, going all the way to May. Okay, I did not consider the other sort of, let's say, the other left-hand side of the W-like formation.
I see.
Okay, because we were we didn't sort of we were not this far ahead, right, in terms of price. But let's go ahead and see where this sort of measured moves takes VeChain up to. Okay, now this, if we do break this, I mean, it appears we're currently hovering over that neckline. So if we do break this, guys, the measured move for this pattern is going to go all the way to about 0.014 cents.
So pretty much taking VeChain from the pennies to the 1 cent mark. If VeChain closes the month over here on the USD pairing, it's going to look really, really good.
Yeah, it's looking
comparing actually.
It's looking bloody strong here, right? But that's what we want to see. That's exactly what we want to see. If VET BTC needs to trend from here, right? So now let's get back onto that weekly time frame, because Sean, we do close a weekly candle in about a day, right?
A day and 14 hours to be exact.
Day and 14 hours, guys. Day and 14 hours. And what do you know? Right now, the major sort of weekly level, okay, for VeChain is sitting at that 0.0086 cents. Okay, and price is currently hovering over that. So if we close, if we close now, what's the next point of resistance on the weekly time frame? What are you getting on your chart, Sean?
I'm looking at around 0.018-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's it. I have the same thing on my chart in terms of weekly support and resistance. That is the next sort of weekly resistance. From where price is at currently, guys, to that next point of resistance, that is a good 83%.
Wow. Strong moves.
It's gonna be, this chart has been magic. This chart has been absolute magic. It's been a dream to trade. Now this is VeChain on the weekly. Let's actually get on to that daily time frame. And
before we do move on to the weekly, I do want to quickly point out a level that we both missed.
Okay.
Right over here, actually at 0.011, we wicked off it once, and we are seeming to see resistance off it right now too.
Ah, I see what you're talking about.
It's not to be ignored. When you see a push up like that and a rejection, a nice wick like that, follow through towards the downside where price gets pushed all the way down in a long trending move, that should not be ignored. So.
No, I agree with you. That's actually a good catch, guys. Because if you look at the price action on the weekly time frame at around that 29th of October 2018, I'm just going to zoom into that. Okay, notice how as soon as we lost it here, now we lost this, that horizontal that you just spoke of, Sean, we lost it on the week of 29th of October 2018. Okay, we had a clear candle close underneath that, and we saw immediate volatile follow through to the downside. Right, so good catch. Damn, now it's suddenly, I don't know, now you just changed the picture for me. What the hell, Sean? You know, I was in my little Lala dreamland. But okay, now we are currently up against that weekly resistance, as it seems. But let's actually pan on over to, well, the daily time frame and see what price is doing on the daily, right? VeChain against USDT. Now I have my cloud on, just so that, Sean, you're following along. Okay, and now the first thing that really, pops out on my screen is, well, cloud is green. That bullish TK cross has been maintained. We're trending on something much lower than the daily, I believe, right now. Yes, we are trending on something much lower. But what I really want to point out here, Sean, is how price reacted so well against that weekly, well, resistance then now turns support at around that 86 0.008 cent region.
Yeah. How do you even say that? 1/8 of a penny? I think.
Yeah.
No, wait.
I asked that on one of my videos, and one guy's like, yeah.
1/8 of a penny. That's
1/8 of a penny. But no, look at this. Look, it's beautiful, right? Even the way price reacts off of those weekly support and resistance lines on the lower time frames, it's so perfect. Like, guys, we derived this from the weekly time frame. I was looking at weekly price action when I plotted this line, and it's been following it. So it's good. I mean, it gives you a good guide. If you ever want to know how whether price is bullish or bearish, you're basically looking at these levels here. And what is to note is that we've been holding this line. We were holding this line as resistance since July of 2019. Okay, we've broken.
Gotta say, the cloud on this one has been getting it pretty right. Like,
yeah.
If you just zoom out and look at the red and the greens, and we've been trending along the direction of the cloud.
Yeah, it's been...
I also do want to point out, Kusha, that resistance line on the weekly that we did catch just before switching on over to the daily, right? The one at 0.011. Look at how VeChain has played off that historically. Like, we broke down underneath it, came, retested, had a massive drive towards the bottom. Then I'm talking about the drive to the bottom all the way November 7th, 2018 to December 15th, 2018, right? A good month of just dump, trended towards the upside, right? Had a push back up to that level, got a rejection, and again, dump, all the way from 24th June 2019. Well, towards, just dumped all the way to 23rd October 2019 again. So again, this is going to be a key level that we're coming up against. If we do take that out, it's going to be pretty significant.
It is. Damn. But how far is price from that region? I just want to see where price is at currently relative to that line. That's a good 12% to the upside still. We haven't really gotten there. Notice how this wick, in this most recent sort of wick high that we've made, we have not really touched that level. So we could very well come up there and have a an official touch. What are your thoughts on that?
Actually, now that you mention it, the fact that we got so close to it already, I would consider that a test. And price is simply just bouncing back up towards it again. So this rejection is being bought back as an opportunity.
Yeah.
If we close a candle over here, somewhere around here, even on the daily, I do think that this time around the probability of us taking out that resistance is going to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
So yes, that is a major level. Yes, it is scary, but it's showing strength here. VeChain is showing strength here.
Yeah, I like the look of the chart, but so like I said, this is trending on something much lower than the daily. So how about let's actually go on to the 4-hour time frame, see what it's doing there. And what do you know, guys? We're still trending on that 4-hour 21 EMA. It appears that the one time we lost it was here on June 4th. Okay, we took it back quite immediately. Sean, we didn't even make our way down to the Kijun there. Usually I would sort of anticipate a C-span trade, but this got picked up on another level.
Yep.
Right, it got picked up on something much lower. We managed to take back the 21. We held the Tenkin as resistance, but as soon as we took back the 21 EMA as well as the Tenkin, that was your first tell, right? That was the first bullish tell, and it has been trending on that 21 and on that 4-hour Tenkin ever since. It appears that every sort of touch of that 21 especially has been a buy.
Yeah, it's been beautiful actually. Wow.
It's been a really good chart, and we're currently over the 10 SMA. This is bullish, guys. Right now, the only major sort of overhead resistance is going to be at that 0.011 cent region. Yep. Do you see any patterns? Do I see any patterns on this chart? Sean, feel free to interrupt me if you see anything on this chart that perhaps I am missing.
Well, the structure right now, right here on the 4-hour time frame that I'm looking at is looking really strong. If we do close even a 4-hour candle above essentially the level that we're sitting at right now at around 0.09814, or even take out the wicks at 0.099, so if we take into the 1 cent region, I do think we're going to make a push all the way up to that weekly resistance that we talked about at 0.011. But at the very least, move to 0.0102, which is going to be a, let's say, a good 5% move, 5 to 8% move, depending on if we get to the wick highs or not. This is looking good. Very constructive chart.
Yeah, we're still on that 4-hour time frame. So yeah, things are looking really good for VeChain USDT. Now remember, guys, this is the first thing we want to determine, for any underlying cryptocurrency of whether or not it's doing well relative to USDT, because this is the chart that is going to show you strength. Okay, so now that we have determined that VeChain is doing well relative to USDT, let's actually pan on over to our BTC chart. Okay, and man, Sean, I'm currently on the 4-hour time frame. I just pan on over right away, and dude, look at this.
Yeah, if we close over here, this is gonna be massively bullish.
Yeah, but I don't want to get ahead of myself here. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna basically go over this pattern in a bit, but let's actually just break it down. Okay, back onto the weekly and draw in those high-level horizontals. Sean, I already have one plotted on my chart at around 99 sats.
Again, Krisha, I do think it be prudent to start with the monthly time frame yet again. There's something important on this one. Let's go ahead and mark out both the horizontals at 106.
Okay, 106.
So that's key. As you can see, we're coming and smacking right against it.
Give me 1 second. I've yet to sort of plot that one out. 106. Okay. Yeah.
And another one. That's another one sitting at 80 Satoshi. So you're seeing how important this level has been. We've come and smacked against 106.
Yeah.
Before, okay. And what happened was we got rejected and closed underneath both major levels, underneath the 106 level and the 80 Satoshi level, right? That one candle was massively bearish, because VeChain tried for push up to that major resistance level, got rejected, and not only lost that level, but also lost its previous level that it looked to have gained on the monthly time frame, which is why you always wait for candle close, right? Especially in a bear market like that, wait for candle close before getting too excited. That was a bear market territory, December 2019. And then we had a downtrend leading all the way up to our month recently, the coronavirus month, coming down to 46 Satoshi and then powering through that 80 Satoshi level. For now, at the very least, we haven't closed the month just yet. We don't want the month to look a lot like the month of December, where we lived above the 80 Satoshi level, smacked against the 106 level, but got rejected, right?
Yeah.
It's looking good right now. Okay. Let's keep both these levels on just these two levels on, and switch on over to our lower time frames now. We can go at the weekly and the daily, but you can take over from here, Krisha.
Man, you spotted something very key there, because
Very,
the thing
very
extremely
important.
because the thing is that, guys, note that that was the monthly time frame that we were on. Now, in terms of the month of June, which is the month we are currently in, right? This is only the 13th of June. We have quite a few weeks left on this month before we see that official monthly close. And while back onto the month, I'm just getting onto the monthly time frame for just a minute. While we're sitting up here on the monthly time frame, if this has a sell-off in the next coming weeks, okay, we could very well look like something like this candle right here. Right? Notice how we went all the way up here testing that region and then got sold off throughout the rest of the month. So you're right, Sean, absolutely prudence is going to be necessary here. But what do you think is going to be the first tell now?
I think it's going to be the daily time frame. Yes, prudence is necessary, but we have to take into consideration the overall market, and the overall market has been pumping. The overall market has been bullish. And if you do take a look at the daily time frame, I don't mean to skip past the weekly. Let's go ahead and look at the daily quickly, all right? With the monthly levels just in place over there at around 80, 81 Satoshi.
Okay.
You're going to see that this time around, when we broke past and we bull flagged right underneath it on the daily time frame.
Yeah.
Right? We broke past it, retested, and shot right up to the major monthly level. You can see just it took 2 days to get to the next major monthly level at 106 Satoshi.
Yes. It's, you know, this chart, while it's been beautiful, it's also not been what's the word I'm looking for? Generous. It's not been generous at all, right?
Not giving you a chance.
It's not giving you a chance. It's barely like taking out a level, and you get the retest almost immediately on this chart, and then you see that swift continuation to the upside.
It kind of points towards the aggressiveness of how bullish this market has been, at least when pertaining to the low caps, because you are getting a retest, but what we are not seeing is what we're used to over the past 2 years of a bearish market, where the momentum has not been as fast, not as aggressive, where you're getting your time to build your position, right? We saw that even with QKC today. I got only like around 65% of my position in before it just pumped in our faces.
Yeah.
And with singles, a day before yesterday, where we got a position in, yes, but we weren't able to push out the video for our audience in time for them to take advantage of it, because it pumped 45% right there.
Yeah.
Right then. So this market has been very aggressive, and you got to be on your toes. Lots of opportunity, but got to be on your toes.
Almost definitely. But I'm going back onto the weekly time frame, Sean. I noticed something here. It's odd. So I'm looking at this horizontal here, the weekly horizontal at around 97 sats.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to color that a different color, perhaps make it a white, just so we can distinguish between our monthly levels and our weekly levels. So now that we've sort of noted that the last time we got up to this level, we had an immediate sell-off to end the month on a more bearish sort of look, right? Now I'm looking for a tell here. What would be a good tell for price to close over to see, you know, to figure out whether or not this could very well have continuation to the upside?
Well, I think we switch on to a 4-hour time frame, and you see a bullish consolidation over there, the bull flag. If this sees follow through towards the end of the week, and we start closing multiple 4-hour candles in that zone over there above the 107, because what I've done on my chart, Krisha, is I've marked out the entire zone between 97 Satoshi rather, which is our weekly level, and 106 Satoshi, which is our monthly level, right? I marked that out as a zone just now.
Okay.
And you can see that we are bull flagging right on it.
Yeah. Oh,
if
hell
we
yeah.
start seeing continuation towards the upside over there and start closing candles into that zone at 105, 115-ish, 110-ish, well, in that case, I think that would be our first tell, and we would not necessarily need to wait for the monthly close, because you'd have your weekly close about that level too, and then I'd be looking for a move, believe it or not, all the way to 150 Satoshi.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that's going to be, I think there are certain sort of signatures on this chart right now that did not happen the last time around we got to this region.
Yep.
Right, so I think this will be a tell, and for those of you playing those lower time frames, and you know you're being very reactive to price, I think it's going to be this bull flag and how we react off of this bull flag is going to be the determining factor. And also, let's not forget the weekly. Once again, guys, we do close that in a day, so it's going to be important, man. The way we close relative to this region right here at around that 106, Sean. Okay, that's the region that you spotted for us. Then this is a monthly region as well. And notice the last time we got up to this region, right? The same month that we had that massive sell-off, only for the candle to look super, super bearish. We failed to close over this level on the weekly time frame.
Exactly.
So if we manage to take this 106 region out on that next weekly close in one day, I think the picture changes, man. I think this is going to be super bullish.
Indeed. Sitting against major resistance, very, very scary resistance, but VeChain is pulling in together the troops.
Okay, so now that you guys know what kind of resistances that we're looking at overhead, okay, and what to be careful of. Now, there are a couple of patterns on this chart. You guys, we just brought up the bull flag that's playing out on the 4-hour time frame. But even on the weekly time frame, guys, if we do break out of that 4-hour bullish bull flag, right, it's going to have cascading effects. And the first thing I see here is going to be on that weekly time frame. Sean, there is a massive, massive double bottom on the weekly.
Yep.
Right, so if we do close over this region, guys, that will confirm the break of this massive W-like formation, okay, to which the measured move will take VeChain BTC all the way up to 179 sats.
Damn.
Yes. And what is that measured move? You just kind of plot it from, well, the breakout all the way to 179. That is a good 68% to the upside. Now, of course, it's not necessary that we go there in one straight line. Note that we do have a couple of, areas of resistance overhead. The first one, the more sort of blatant one, being at 149 sats. But these patterns have been working out rather well on many of the charts. What are your thoughts, Sean?
It's just crazy. It's almost surreal as to whether these things will pan out or not. Because I mean, is this really an altcoin rally? Is this an altcoin market? People have been waiting for this for years, and each time they think it's an altcoin market, they are sorely disappointed. And now you don't hear people calling it an altcoin market. Very few people are calling it that. But it's so typical, right? It's just when people give up, it shows up. Yeah,
absolutely. But it's just, we'll have to kind of wait and watch, right? But I think what is to note on this chart is that while this, you have candles, this chart is volatile, okay? It's a volatile chart, and so while there is this upside to be had, and a lot of people are bullish on this chart, it's also it's going to be key to be prepared for a downside move in case it happens. Because if you get caught, now I'm going to move back over to the 4-hour time frame. If you get caught on the downside break of this triangle, okay, where does that take us? And I believe every sat from where price is at currently is like a 1%.
Yep.
Right, it's not small, guys. Like, you do not want to be losing that much of your portfolio because you don't have your risk management in place. You don't have those stop losses in place. Okay, while you can see the profits to the upside, there's also losses to the downside. Like, just the measured move of this triangle alone. And please note that this does not meet the more immediate sort of support underneath us, which is only at 80 sats. Okay, this is only going up to 84 sats, and that is still a good 16% to the downside.
Ouch.
It is volatile. Okay, so while you are, bracing yourself for more upside, more of an upside push for VeChain, also prepare for the downside in case it happens. It's always, it pays to be prudent in volatile markets.
Indeed. Well said, Krisha. Well said.
Right. That's all I have for you guys for VeChain. Sean, is there anything else that you're looking at on VeChain that you want to, bring to everyone's attention?
Nothing. I think we covered most of it.
Yeah, so I think the key region for the weekly close, guys, is going to be 106. If we manage to take that out, if we manage to get a good weekly candle close over 106, I think this is a party.
Indeed.
Right? Okay, cool. And guys, with that, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.